everyone, this is Shirahime from Utau forum / Utau user forum, and I'm making this tutorial because I get asked this question a lot. How do you record breath sounds and get them to work in Utau? So this is going to be more of a recording tutorial than an oto'ing tutorial, but we'll go over some of that and I'll post some lovely links in the description for you to peruse afterwards. I've seen a lot of people give up on having breath notes entirely for their voice banks because they couldn't figure out how to oto them right or record them, so I'm going to try and help you do both. A lot of problems with oto'ing stem from recording issues. There might be some differing opinions on this, but this is mine based on my experience and what I've done with Utau so far. The first thing you need to understand about breaths for Utau is that they're going to be completely different than normal breathing. It's helpful to keep in mind that your Utau is going to be singing, not talking, so you should try and record your breaths accordingly. Here's what I'm talking about. Pay attention to what I'm doing with my breaths when I'm singing. So basically what you want to try and do is make your breath sounds sound as if they occurred while you were singing a song, like you're about to prepare yourself for the next string of notes you were singing naturally. I suggest maybe listening to some songs voiced by real people and studying the breaths they place in their songs, so you can kind of get a gist of what it should sound like. You should also try and record a few different types of breath sounds, such as sharp inhales you would use for singing something with more power, and a slow, relaxed inhale that you would hear a singer using before singing something slow and relaxed. You want to keep your breath sounds relatively short as well, as it makes it easy to configure an oto later. This is actually one of the biggest problems I've seen with voice bank breaths, is that they record their sounds for too long and it gets all squished up when Utau tries to play it. That may not be the case with all voice banks, so whatever feels natural to you when you're singing is what you should go with. I found breath sounds really easy to configure in oto with Utau, however, as long as I kept the sample pretty short and simple. I've also amplified my breath sounds before if they haven't been loud enough for Utau or haven't played right, and never made it sound too muffled at all, which is what I expected, but you want to avoid recording too loudly or too quietly or it will just come out as static. Or not at all. Sometimes Utau just refuses to play your breath sounds. That can be more of a resampler problem though, and we'll talk about that in a bit. If you've got a breath sound you already like now and want to try and get it into Utau, here's some stuff you should know. If your breaths don't work with the default resampler, try Tips, BKH01, or even FreeSamp. I've never had much luck with FreeSamp in breaths, but Tips and BKH01 are generally the only resamplers that will play with my breath sounds. I've had some luck with Resampler playing my breath sounds if I record them really well, and by really well I mean virtually no background static, a clear, simple sample, and that doesn't actually happen that often for me. But what if your voice bank doesn't like to play with Tips or any other resampler except for the default, but that's the only one that will render your breaths? Resampler Patcher! If you're unfamiliar with what that is, I'll be posting links below for the download and tutorial by Nimsao. Nimsao? I don't know. The Resampler Patcher is a program that you run, add all your favorite resamplers to, and it helps you run multiple resamplers in one UST. So that being said, if you have a problem with your bank playing with one resampler and your breaths playing with another, there's your solution. It also cuts down rendering time by about a quarter, which is awesome. Last thing I'll talk about in this tutorial is how to actually oto the breath sounds. We'll also go over aliasing a little bit. Otoing breath sounds is easy, because you don't. Trim any silence or static on the sides or any blips in your mic in Audacity, but that's generally all I like to do to my breath sounds. Sometimes I like to tweak with some of the settings to get it to play more naturally, but I generally don't touch those settings at all and leave it blank. Anyways, most Japanese USDs with breath sounds are gonna have this character, Iki, representing the breath sounds. You can type Iki by switching over to Japanese, typing E, K-I, press space, and then enter. So I recommend aliasing all your breath sounds or even encoding them as Iki, which means breath. Well, that's it. Be sure to check out these awesome links in the description that I left for you guys, and that's it. So thanks for watching.